Hey, what's up everyone? It's Eddie from Eddy's Emporium and welcome to Beyond the Booster episode 15. It's the 29th of October when you're watching this, so I'm hoping you're having a lovely week, getting over the hump day, or have got over it. Maybe it's got over you. And on today's episode, I am still a bit sniffly. I'm feeling sorry for myself, so it might be a shorter episode. So what's happened in the world of Eddy's Emporium? Well, Eddy, not the Emporium, has tried to get personal pre-orders for the new Phantasmal Flames, and yeah, I was part of that Smith's Toys Superstore down outage, waiting in the cold and the rain for about 3 hours, 4 hours. I think we got there to queue at 7:30 in the morning, and I didn't get out and back into the car with my pre-order until about 11 a.m. I could have gone on a train to London. I could have done a lot of things. There was many moments in which I was about 2.5 hours in, really regretting my life choices. But we managed to get a ETB and a booster bundle, but the UPCs had sold out pretty quickly, or so I'm hearing. There was a stock issue when they were down, and the UPCs still may be available close to the time if you're going to Smith's Toy Superstore. Now, I believe that's copium. People just try and kind of trick themselves into believing that there's a possibility of getting that. That said, I'm very jealous of you lucky souls who've managed to get hold of one of the UPCs, because them promos are beautiful. Surprisingly, not after the Orichalco, whatever I think I've just sold a seal of Orichalco's grade card, so Oricoco is the Pokemon. I'm very jealous of the art, but it's the Charizard I'm after because I really do like that style. So I'll probably buy them too as singles for my personal collection. But let me know if you've got hold of a UPC, because it was a nightmare if you're based in the UK. If you're watching from the US, be very happy that you are not in the UK at winter, because it's cold, it's dark, and it's miserable. What else? I have started using Xero accounting to start getting my balances in order, and obviously part of this channel is to explain, let you show the growth and the kind of challenges that I'm overcoming as a business. And it's quite interesting, Xero, because obviously it's a business centric software. It's not fun, it's not TCG related, but in order to pay my taxes and not go to prison, I need to do that and learn how to do it and run a business effectively. And so now we're at a point where I'm managing monthly bank reconciliations to make sure the books balance, and I know where my profit is and where my kind of potential losses are. And that will allow me to then make sure when I go to do my HMRC submission that I pay the right amount. And obviously, if you're aware or you've been watching since an early start of this channel, my goal for the next 2 years is to ensure that all the profit that I'm making is being spent and reinvested back into the business. So when I do come to do the HMRC self-assessment, because I'm a sole trader, I'm not a limited company yet, I don't have any tax to pay because I've spent all that profit, reinvested it into the business, and that helps the business grow, and nothing goes to HMRC, legally of course. Why am I doing that? Because that means nothing is given away, it's not dead money. I have a full-time job which subsidizes my living, so I don't need to rely on any income from Eddy's Emporium, so I can nurture that and let it grow. A lot of small businesses and HMRC recommend doing that. So if you are in that space, or you are kind of thinking about where you want to be with your business, let me know if you're interested in it, because I'll probably do more videos as I'm learning. I'm still a student, so I'm not going to try and give any advice, but I'm definitely going to give analysis of how I'm feeling and finding that transition into a business owner and doing big boy business owner things. I've also got my Magic the Gathering Avatar Collector Booster Bundle and other product allocation, and by God, it was bad. I can't give exact numbers for obvious reasons, I'll get told off, but I got about 5% of what I asked for, which is absolutely crazy because when I look at the amount of people kind of slating it online, the demand is still massive. Of course, it's a huge collaboration, but we've seen the market start to react poorly to sort of say the Spider-Man collector booster boxes. So I'm quite happy and not as stressed personally, because it was probably going to be the biggest bill I would ever receive as a business owner from the product it would cost me initially. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, because obviously things get released and all the in-between stuff there. And I do think Avatar's going to be a very successful set. I think it's going to be as close to Final Fantasy as you possibly can get without it being to that level. I think it'll be a good second place. I don't think it'll be hugging it the same way that probably a lot of people are making out. But I do think that if serialized cards come out, I don't think that they have been confirmed on Avatar. Let me check. So I've just had a quick check, and so serialized cards aren't in the set, and that's probably why a few people have, started pulling back from the set. There's been a little kind of like wobble in the market. I pretty certain, I don't think Wizards have confirmed it, but I think only mainline collector booster boxes are going to have serialized cards in moving forward, or at least that's the general vibe, because I know Lorwyn has serialized cards in it. So there might be a trend there moving forward that the Beyond, or the extended universe, can't remember, universes beyond cards and sets will focus on maybe different types of rarities, as you've kind of seen with the Infinity Stone in the Spider-Man set. It's a very interesting thing to watch, though, because obviously from a business, collector, and potentially investor perspective moving forward, the market's going to react to that very well. I did think Magic had a really good thing going with the serialized cards, obviously with the success of Final Fantasy. I don't know why they would kind of make that winning formula change, but there might be a reason for it, whether that's business, play orientated, that I'm just not aware of. What do you think? Like, let me know why you think they might be changing this formula. I can't see it being license related because it's still bringing out the set. On that news with Magic the Gathering, are you interested in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collaboration? Because I'm obviously and ahhing about putting some requests down for pre-ordering stock. Obviously, that needs to be confirmed by my distributor. Usually that's about a month before allocations are announced. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of feels like a brand that everyone likes the idea of, but actually when you come to buy it, it's probably like a bit of a back thought. So I might pop my name down for maybe 1 or 2 collector booster boxes, but at the price that they're doing it, and I'm looking at my distributor prices right now, I'm not obviously going to say what, I can't. I'm not sure they're going to be too high in demand. I could be wrong here, and this is why I'm asking you. This is literally, you are a customer in this instance. Let me know if you're interested in that, because, yeah, I can't see many Magic fans wanting that. And I don't know if many Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans play card games in the same way Avatar and Final Fantasy fans do. Could be wrong, though. So also, Eddy's Emporium has started a new service, and this was actually thanks to a friend of a friend, and they basically said, can you get hold of this product? And I said, well, yeah, I can. And obviously that's through my distributor, and it was for a Masters playset box, and it got me thinking, like, I have access to a distributor. I don't always have the capital to have everything that my distributor has. So that created this bespoke sourcing service, what I've kind of called it, where I can receive a request. You can reach out to me via DMs or via the contact form on my website, and that has a sourcing service drop down. And you can just reach out and sort of say, hey, does your distributor have that? And what I can then do is check with my distributor, look at prices, and then figure out what the best price I can give you for it. And I see this as a win-win, because I can probably give you the best price that I possibly can. That could be the best price on the web. Good example is I managed to get a Commander's Master. What was it? Commander's Master? I can't even remember what the name of this is. Yeah, it is. It's a Commander Masters set booster box for my friend's friend, and I managed to get him for it like £5-10 cheaper than anywhere on the internet, which is great, because while I don't make much in that instance, it's a service in which I can make money from, but also hopefully gain customers from. And I think that's a really cool way to start bridging out from an Eddy's Emporium perspective. And, the way that we would operate would be is a pre-order pay in full situation with, it being a bespoke sourcing service. Then I get it delivered onto the Emporium, and then the Emporium obviously just quality checks and then passes it back on to you via there. And we've just delivered the first one, or at least the second stage of this process as well, which is a great trial run as well. So thank you for this, where we've just quality checked it at the Emporium, and then we're shipping it off to the customer's house now, which has been a really smooth, really successful test. And obviously, I look forward to doing more of these and hopefully fulfilling more. And that's a really good option, because if you're struggling to find something at a fair price, maybe I can be that bridge that helps you get them fair prices. We started to manage to sell some of our graded cards now that we had, just over there, and they're starting to kind of come through. Always get a bit stressed when you're kind of starting out something new for the first time, because especially with the graded scene, and actually surprisingly Yu-Gi-Oh is some of the ones that I've started to sell quite well. I'm trying to understand the pricing, the fairness, and the best way that I possibly can cater to everyone while creating an accessible market, and obviously making a good profit margin, because with graded cards, as you know, if you get a 10, that's great, increases the value of it, but also I want to make it at an accessible price. So yeah, that's quite positive to see from a business perspective. And kind of in the TCG news world, there's not much happening at the moment, and obviously that's kind of parodied with the whole like market crash situation. I really do think it's a bit more of a correction, and a slight one at that. I think because of all the sets that have came out and where we are in the current environment, that these dips now are good opportunities if you really have seen a card that you like, or a booster box that you like, and it's dipped a tiny bit. Pokemon and things like that tend to do, if you look at some things like Collector, I'm not like a market expert here, but they kind of do this. Like they do like a step thing usually, and usually that's on an incline. It will only ever really get more expensive with things like Pokemon. Now, One Piece and other TCGs haven't been out long enough for us to kind of say that that's going to have a similar market thing, especially when One Piece is so tied to the manga and anime being ongoing. We don't know what's going to happen when that stops. Whereas Pokemon obviously has a history of being a successful situation. And you can't even bet that on Heritage, because Magic the Gathering almost had a collapse at a very high level that I understood. I think that was in like the mid-teens of 2000. So it's really an interesting position to be looking at the market as a business owner and as a collector. But I do think if you have been looking for a card and a booster box, there is some probably small opportunities to maybe get a couple of pounds off it. Do I think you're going to save hundreds and this is going to be where Pokemon returns back to retail price? No, I don't think that's going to happen. But I don't think that should discourage you in any way, shape or form from getting something you like, because the value is in your love and appreciation for it, as long as it's not funding a scalper. Please don't fund the scalpers. But yeah, I really don't read too much more to say on the TCG news front. There's not really much happening at this moment in time. So yeah, that's it. Short and sweet. And I'm going to leave it there, because I'm probably going to go have a cold and flu tablet now, because I'm feeling sorry for myself. And yeah, just a reminder that next week I will be in Iceland, so I might do a little vlog, a little small video here and there. It might be on YouTube, it might just be on TikTok, just kind of say hi to everyone. but the next episode next week won't be on in the same context as today's. So I miss you already, and I can't wait for the next one. And if you've got any questions or thoughts on what I've talked about today, leave a comment. And if you really want to be nice, leave a like, or even better, a subscribe. But yeah, have a lovely rest of your week, and I'll catch you on the next video. Ciao.